Picture this, a charming city in central Indiana. Some say it's the best place in the entire country to live. Everything from wonderful parks to wonderful arts, from tasty treats to eat to places to move your feet. This is Carmel, Indiana, and I'm going to tell you everything there is to do in it. But before we get into that, hello and welcome. This is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I often call Carmel the crown jewel of Indianapolis, and that's because it sits at the top where a crown would go, and it's super nice throughout. But if you live there, what exactly is there to do? And I'll tell you what, there actually is a lot in Carmel because unlike other areas, they really highly invest in culture and just outdoor spaces, things to do across the board in Carmel. So let's take a look at this category by category and really dive into what makes this amazing city one of the best places to live in the entire country. First, we're going to start off with some of the green spaces, because if there's one thing that I love to talk about on this channel, it's all the parks around Indianapolis and the surrounding areas. And Carmel shines in this department. Once you go into a Carmel park, you're going to have questions about whatever your local parks are, because the Carmel parks are so nice and so thoughtfully designed with really unique features that you are going to be wowed. You have undeveloped parks like Bear Creek Park and Cherry Tree Park. You've got walking trails. You've got Flowing Well Park where you can get unique water. You've got Founders Park where you can dig in the sand and have a great time. You've got Meadowlark Park. You've got River Heritage Park. You've got West Park. And let me tell you something. The playground equipment at these parks is insane. Okay, there's unique things about each and every one of these parks. I went to River Heritage Park with my kids and it was crazy. The types of device, it's like a small park. It's not one of Carmel's bigger parks, but the types of equipment there are very unique. They had a handicap accessible swing set where you could actually roll a wheelchair into it and really have a great time and get to play on the playground. They had a big circle of different musical interactions where you could play something on the device electronically and go back and forth and hit the different music notes. And this is one of Carmel's smaller parks. Yeah, these parks are crazy, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Cox Hall Gardens, because Cox Hall Gardens is enormous. Cox Hall Gardens actually features a centerpiece. How many parks do you know that feature a centerpiece in the middle in their design? And not only that, there's not one bell tower, there are two bell towers that are like twins in opposite sections of Cox Hall Gardens. There's even a children's garden, which has village stores, echo walls, peekaboo hills, a sundial, and tiki huts. It's full of a lot of amazing things for everyone. Cox Hall Gardens, all the parks across Carmel, you really can't go wrong. And of course, I have to mention the Monon Trail. The Monon Trail is a super popular walkway, bikeway, trail, whatever you want to call it, that goes north to south. It's actually all the way from downtown Indianapolis up through Westfield. And I think they actually just completed the work that they were doing to extend it even further. So we'll see if it goes any further from where it is now, but it's humongous. There's a paved 27 miles. So if you're looking for a fun and safe place to ride your bike in Indianapolis, the Monon Trail is actually a really great place for that. But you could also walk and hike. You can just stroll on it. You know, you're pushing a stroller, dragging a wagon, taking the whole family out. Monon Trail is there for you. And there are actually entire communities in Carmel and Westfield kind of built around the Monon Trail and having close access to it. All right, as I mentioned at the top, one of the best things to do in Carmel that's very uniquely Carmel throughout central Indiana is the arts, music, and design that you can find throughout Carmel. And it's really pervasive in the culture of the city. So whether you're visiting or you're planning to move to Carmel or the surrounding area, this is something you absolutely do not want to miss. So because if you're missing it, you're missing the heart of Carmel. So let's go through it one by one. All right, first let's talk about the Center for Performing Arts in Carmel. It has a corporate sponsor, but whatever, that's what I'm calling it. this is where you can go to see live music and live shows in Carmel. So the Palladium within there is actually where the Carmel Symphony Orchestra plays. Yes, Carmel maintains its own symphony separate from the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, which plays in the Circle downtown. And they do similar series, right? They have pop series, they have classical series, which is, you know, what I'd go for. And it's an amazing place if you like, you know, that type of music. But not only that, they have all types of music here. They have singers, they have choirs, they have bands, they have solo acts, they have musicals and productions. It is an amazing venue, and it truly stands on its own outside of the theater scene that you have in downtown Indianapolis. If you live in Carmel, you don't even have to drive all the way downtown. You've got quality music acts of all types right there in the heart of Carmel. All right, second up is the Carmel Arts and Design District. And this really is second to nothing. I could have put it first in the whole video because it's amazing. There's not other places like this outside of, you know, maybe downtown Indianapolis. But we've talked about different districts on the north side on this channel, right? Like Fishers has districts, Carmel has districts. This is a very special area that is uniquely Carmel, because in the Arts and Design District, you have all manner of related businesses that kind of work together to present you this unified whole of culture and design. There are many galleries in this area. So if you're looking for art galleries to look at art, to purchase art, to be a patron of art, this is your chance in central Indiana because the Arts and Design District has them. Let's rattle off a few. You've got Art on Main, the Kawaba Gallery, Magdalena Gallery of Art, just to name a few. So no matter what you're looking for, it's not just art there. If you're looking for home design, if you're looking for interior decoration, there are options there. If you're looking for different blinds for your windows, you can get there. If you're looking for furniture, if you're looking for whatever, this is where you go to really outfit your space and indulge in that cultural side of things. So it's really cool to walk around, look in the area. It's just a neat part of town. And one more thing I wanted to touch on in this arts and culture section is Porch Fest, which is very uniquely Carmel. So every September, there is an event in Carmel called Porch Fest, where local porches turn into stages for musicians. And this is a great chance to highlight the local music scene in Carmel and central Indiana. So it's a whole big community event in Carmel where you have basically a stage set up on different porches where you can get to see these different musical acts. And it's a way to get out in the community instead of, you know, like I said, attending shows on stage or in more of a traditional venue, but it's a way of bringing music to the people. So this real sense of community, of arts and culture, whether that be music or design, is so pervasive in Carmel. And if you're not taking part of it, it is one of the top things to do in Carmel. It's one of the reasons why Carmel is one of the top places to live in the entire country. Next on our list of things to do in Carmel are the amazing shopping and eating opportunities. Now, we've talked about some of other places that have these different types of opportunities, but Carmel takes it up a notch. Carmel has really high-end options that you don't see everywhere else in Indiana. So you have your fashion mall down in Keystone, but Clay Terrace in Carmel is an amazing mall in its own right, because you're going to find everything across the board. You're not just going to find clothing, you're going to find all sorts of shops to suit your needs. One example that I've been there for is for the Lovesac store. And if you're unfamiliar with that, they're pretty incredible and innovative furniture brand that allows you to customize your couch or whatever you want to build there. But they also have these huge, comfortable things that are kind of like bean bags, but they have memory foam called sacks. That's just one example of the types of shops there. But really, it's a high-end mall, and it's a great experience too. So not only is the shopping good in Carmel, but also you have restaurants galore. There are lots of local restaurants that are going to take your culinary palate up a notch, and they have a number of different types of food too. Let's run down just a few of the amazing restaurants across Carmel. You've got Josephine, you've got Savor, you've got Juniper on Main, you've got Kazuki. Some people say it's the best ramen in Indiana. You've got Monterey. You've got Sun King Brewery, as in other parts of Indianapolis. Speaking of, they also have Basbo's in Carmel. You got 101 Craft Kitchen. You've got a 1933 Lounge, which is a St. Elmo place. And those are in other places as well. But there's just tons of places to eat in Carmel, and there's lots of really good places to eat. And that's not true of every suburb around Indianapolis. And the next group is, of course, the events that happen in Carmel. And if you've noticed a trend across the different communities around Indianapolis, they each have their own slate of events, and some have more and bigger ones than others. Carmel does not lack in this area. So if you're looking to plug into the community is looking to plug in to you. All right, let's talk about a few of them. You've got Carmel Fest, which is kind of like the Independence Day, 4th of July celebration. It's got fireworks, it's got live music, it's got all sorts of family activities across the board. The comparable one up on the north side would be the Fisher Spark Festival. So, everybody likes it. It's a very patriotic day. Everyone wants to blow up some fireworks and have a good time out in the sunshine. So Carmel's ready to party like anyone else. And if you're looking for good food in Carmel, you can visit the farmers market. So Carmel has a very robust farmers market. If you're looking for that farm to table type experience where the table is your own, head on up to Carmel, get some produce. And to fit in with the arts and design culture within Carmel, there's the Carmel International Arts Festival, which is actually like a juried event where they have all sorts of artists from across the world. There's workshops, there's tons of artists and different types of art on display. So if you really want to dive into that arts culture, you're going to be hard pressed to find a better place in the entire state than Carmel. And no mention of Carmel's festivals would be complete without talking about the Carmel Christkindl Market, which is the German Christmas festival that happens every year in December in Carmel. So if you're looking for a very authentic German experience, we'll go to Germany. No, just kidding. If you're looking for it in Indiana, this is the place to be. It's a really neat experience that there's really not a parallel in central Indiana. So if you're looking for that kind of almost like small town or festival feeling around Christmas time, head on up to Carmel because it's something very unique and very cool. So if you haven't gathered by now, there are a ton of things to do in Carmel. I call it the crown jewel in Indianapolis for a reason, because Carmel really invests in itself. It's always good to bet on yourself, right? Well, Carmel has bet on itself time and again, and it just keeps growing as a city. If you're looking for daily activities, the parks are amazing. The trails are amazing. Even just the downtown is cool. If you want something to do on a daily basis, drive around the roundabouts in Carmel. Check out all the sculptures everywhere. They have sculptures in their roundabouts. Most places don't even have roundabouts. Carmel not only has them, they have artwork in there. If you're looking for things to do like events, Carmel has an events calendar throughout the year. You're never going to be bored, and Carmel really has a unique culture. It has its own identity amongst all the cities in the north, and each one of the major cities in Hamilton County is really working on that. But Carmel is the standard that the rest are catching up to at different speeds as they've been developed differently. So if you're looking in Carmel, if this is something that's interesting to you, what you need to do is really get out and explore. And I'd love to be there with you as you look to explore. So if you're considering moving to Carmel, my information is below. Let's check it out together. Let's go to different communities. Maybe you're a golfer. Maybe you want to live in Crooked Stick. That's where Jim Irsay lived next to, $12 million house. Really great experience. He loved living in Carmel, right? You've got all sorts of communities. It's going to be a higher entry cost than many of the communities in Indiana, but as you can see in this video, they really put it to good use. There are many, many things to do, and Carmel just keeps getting better and better. So with that, this is Things to Do in Carmel, and this is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Evan Deal with the Lead Icon team and eXp Realty, and we'll see you in the next one.